99X, it's Barnes and Leslie. We are your Morning X. Fram, first it was the cicadas.
All over the place, yes.
It looks like we've survived, although I see people posting their Apple Watch with the decibels and crazy levels for the cicadas.
Yes, ruining gardens all over the country.
Now that you thought it was safe, look out now for Joro spiders.
What?
Apparently, these things are making their way up the East Coast and to New York. But listen to this news story. It's where they're coming from. That should freak you out. And if you see them, it will freak you out. Have a listen.
They haven't been spotted in New York yet, but experts say their migration pattern suggests the next stop is the Big Apple.
The situation is we just need to run away.
No, they are not harmful to humans because their fangs can't penetrate human skin. They've actually been making their way up from Georgia by hitching rides on cars or using their webs to parachute up to 3 miles.
I'm not cool with that.
Parachute for up to 3 miles?
They're hitching rides? Were they on the side of the road?
Dude, Google these things. They are they're the size of my shoe. I'm a size 12 and a half.
I'm looking at it right now. It looks like the size of my hand.
Oh, it's bigger than that. Joro spiders. Well, we have an expert to see what the hell is going on. Please welcome Dr. David Coyle. He is the assistant professor and state extension specialist up at Clemson. Good morning, David.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
We're a little freaked out. I wish we were having you on under better circumstances.
Well, there's no need to worry. How about that? Maybe that'll help assuage your fears.
Well, that's good.
These things are ugly. So what the hell is a Joro spider, first of all? And apparently they've been around Atlanta for 10 years.
Yeah, they were first documented in 2014, just north of Athens, where University of Georgia is. But we figure they've probably been here since 2010 or so. They're a type of spider called an orb weaver. So probably the most famous orb weaver is going to be Charlotte from Charlotte's Web. These are a little more dynamic than Charlotte. They don't write in their webs, but they're big and they're colorful. Originally from China and the Koreas, they've sort of taken the country by storm lately.
So they're not lethal?
They are not. They're not dangerous to people or pets at all. We've got zero indication, but they're harmful to us. They can be pretty annoying. Their populations get really, really high. My place here in Oconee County, we've got these things all over the place, so it's kind of a constant battle to keep them off the deck and the porch and garage and house and all that. But there's no threat to people, no threat to pets.
But they say that the fangs, we heard in that news story, the fangs cannot penetrate human skin, but this thing looks scary. How is it are the fangs soft? Why can't they penetrate skin?
Well, I think they can actually penetrate skin. I've got a friend that was. Well, easy now. I've got a friend that was bit, but it wasn't much more than a bee sting or a mosquito bite. So mild annoyance at best. One of the things, we hear that these are venomous, and all spiders are venomous. So this is nothing special about this particular one, because spiders use venom to, kill their prey and subdue their prey. But these spiders, the venom is not really harmful to people, so they use it again for their prey. And they're really docile, though. I think that's the other thing. I mean, I've held these things dozens of times, if not more. My kids have held them. They don't really do anything. They just kind of walk around. So, yes, they have fangs. Yes, they can penetrate skin. No, they're not a threat to people or pets.
Well, the news story we just heard sounded like they're on tour headed for New York. What's going on? Do they travel in a pack?
Yeah, why are they what's going on with the move? Why are they on the move? Where are they going?
Right, we hear that they're flying like the monkeys from, Wizard of Oz or something. But this is just a technique that this type of spider does this every spring. It's called ballooning. So when the eggs hatch and you've got these teeny tiny little babies, they're probably no bigger than a sesame seed or so. They put out some strands of silk and the wind just takes some of them away. So it's just how they disperse. It happens every year over our heads, and we are none the wiser. What we're seeing, though, is the range of these things expanding. Okay, so I mean, they're obviously all over North Georgia now, upstate of South Carolina, a little bit of Tennessee, North Carolina, and like any invasive species, which this is, it's just the range where it is just grows, and we're seeing that grow more so to the north and to the east. This is likely because when they balloon, the prevailing winds in the south typically start in the Gulf and kind of work their way up the coast. So that's kind of where they're going faster than they are south and west.
We're talking to Dr. David Coyle, and we're talking about these crazy-ass Joro spiders that are apparently all over the place in Georgia, heading north. He's the assistant professor and state extension specialist up at Clemson. And how do you spot these things? I mean, because they're big.
They're big in the fall, right? So right now, they're maybe the size of a dime or a nickel with their legs spread. They're tiny little things. They're all over the place. But honestly, unless you're looking for them right now, you're probably not going to notice them. The pictures that you see going all over the place, those big yellow and gray striped ones, they're not going to look like that till late September or October. Okay, so that's when they get big and juicy and beefy, and that's when those are the females that we see. Yeah, those are the females that we see, you know, and they're big. Their webs are huge, you know, 6, 8, 10 feet across. It's not hard to find them, and it's not hard to not see them. I mean, they're all over the place. So they typically just kind of sit there in their webs, and they're just waiting for something to fly into it so they can wrap it up and eat it.
So what happens if you see one? What should you do?
Yeah, are we supposed to kill them?
I mean, if it sparks joy, sure, you can kill them. I typically tell people, I tell people, you can kill them or not. You know, in terms of controlling the population, it's not going to do anything. If they're bothering you, sure, you can get rid of them any way you would get rid of any soft-bodied bug. They're squishable. You can move them. You can do whatever. Don't set them on fire. That's my company policy. Don't set stuff on fire near your house. That's the one thing I want to get out there. But they're not hard to get rid of. It's just that there's a lot of them and they can be annoying. So the easiest thing is probably just, if you don't need to get rid of it, like if it's in your landscape in the yard, if you get rid of one, another one's probably going to move in there. So it's kind of up to you.
So let him be.
Some people use it as like a stress release. I don't know. But, kill them or not, that's kind of your call.
Well, the news is blowing this crap up. So I'm glad that you kept it real and you're like, they're nothing.
Yeah, it sounded like an invasion.
I know. And flying through the air, that whole bit. I mean, can you actually see them? Or is this just something that just happens and we don't even see it? Can you see the flying through the air?
You don't even see it. And I'm telling you, it happens every early spring. So these probably ballooned in, let's say, early to mid-April. Okay, because I saw the very first ones on my deck. It was May 10th, and keep in mind I'm an entomologist, so I'm looking for this sort of thing. So 2-3 weeks earlier is probably when they ballooned. Nobody sees anything. And honestly, no one ever sees that. If you see anything, it might be, one morning when the dew is out, you might see a bunch of what looks like just random spider threads on the lawn. That is kind of an indication that a ballooning event happened. But I'm telling you, this has happened for years and years and years. There's little spiders ballooning over your head every spring.
Wow.
Nobody gets hurt.
Well, thanks for breaking it down for us.
Yep, we're all going to live.
We're all going to live. Yeah, everyone relax.
Perfect.
Disregard the news stories that make it sound like it's the end of the world. So appreciate you setting us straight. Thank you very much, Dr. David Coyle up there at Clemson.
Thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it.
Good morning, X.
With Barnes and Leslie.